Today, I want to talk to you about thought innovation. We need to think differently, have creative thinking, more creative thinking, because we know that the innovation process is a creative process. So we need thought innovation. We can't get to the future if we don't change what we're doing currently. We need to change our thinking from what it currently is to what it needs to be in the future. When you look at the present, you could have the thinking as though you could change it. A lot of the times we get saddled with thinking we can't change it. But if we just change our thinking and have some thought innovation. So it's really important that we're thinking about innovation, and we need to be thinking about it in education. When you think about education, I think a lot of us, we could think of things that haven't changed. No one has asked questions about it in years. It's a lot of different things. It could be processes. It could be literally a form that hasn't changed since like the 80s, right? And it's not digital yet. It's still on paper, right? Like, why are we doing it this way? And then, sometimes it's not that we haven't asked questions about it. It's just that I guess the right people haven't asked questions about it, and they haven't been open to changing it. But the thing about it is that in this digital landscape, in the fourth industrial revolution, with AI and the cloud and innovations in currency and all of these things, we can't have the same thinking, because if we do, we get automated. Don't get me going on, if you ask me the question, do I think teachers will still be here in, let's say, 10 to 15 years? Man, I don't know. The thing is we need to change our thinking. When you think about creative thinking in education, to be quite honest, I don't see a lot of educators putting a lot to that in their lessons. You do have your definite creatives in education, and you can see it all around you. I mean, they have ideas for everything, and so you can see it. But I think, have we done it formally in the curriculum? Have we done it formally in the strategic plan for the district? Have we incorporated it into our classroom spaces? Can we put a bigger focus, a tighter focus on making space for creativity in our classrooms? If you look at elementary students, they're bursting with creativity. It just seems as though as we take students through the educational process and they get to high school, college, it seems as though we beat it out of them, right? Beat the creativity out of them. And I know we all haven't done that. I definitely try not to do that. But the thing is that we need to go back to valuing that and keeping that curiosity, that creativity, that drive to create something new. That to me is the hallmark of not only a student, but a human. Keeping that curiosity, because if we give all the work to the machines, what work will we have left to do? What work will we have left? And some of y'all are like, I don't want any work anyway. I don't want any work anyway. Put me on the beach, no working. But we do love our work. We're doing this for the future of education, and you know who's going to help us build it? the students are. So we need to keep them engaged. You can poll all the educators around you. None of us are here unless just students here. The thing about it is we need to really seek the meaning. Remember we talked about the meaning and the innovation? And speaking of meaning, I always like to go to a Bible verse to just give me a foundation for what I'm thinking about, talking about, exploring, researching. And so I want to go to a verse right now. And I'm going to go to Romans 12:2. When you look at Romans 12:2, it states, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." When you read that, and I'm just transformed reading it, do not conform with the pattern of this world. And so when you think of thought innovation, that's exactly what it is. You're not conforming to the pattern of this world. You're not conforming to the pattern of the present. You're transformed by the renewing of your mind. Thought innovation. Thought innovation. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. That's the wisdom. That's the wisdom. Test and approve. Because, some things aren't of the will of God. So you're going through and you're trying to find your direction. You gotta be with God here, because then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. His good. So it's not bad, right? Because sometimes when we're going through, we think it's bad, but it's good. His good, pleasing, and perfect. Look, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, but His perfect will be done. We need to not conform to the pattern of this world. What others are doing, what we're seeing out here, and not conform to the pattern of what's already here in this world. It's about thought innovation. Thought innovation. Guys, thank you for being here with me today, and it's just been a special day. I know my spirit's been renewed talking about thought innovation, because we can't conform to the pattern of this world. When you're thinking about thought innovation and you're thinking about Romans 12:2, we need to be renewing our minds consistently in education, because I'm telling you, it could just be a relationship with a student. They could have done something that you could have written them up for. Next time you see them, renew your mind, because we need to transform our thinking. They want to be able to have that culture, that space in school where they can thrive. Of course, you have to take measures for different kids. Everybody's individual. Some of these kids are doing a lot. But I'm just saying, we need to renew our thinking. Could be about a program that you're running. Hey, renew your mind. Because we might need to tackle this a different way this year than we may have done the previous year or years. So it's about the thinking. It's about how the shifting the thinking. And our goal is that transformation, that thought innovation. And I just want to encourage you guys, right, to cultivate creative and critical thinking skills in your classroom, because those are very valued in our workforce today. Remember, this is a workforce where AI, technology has not only entered the workforce, it's overtaken it. Thought innovation begins with a renewed mind. That's the innovation. That's the innovation. That's the blessing. That's the blessing. Because if you could change your thinking, you could change your life. You could change your life. Just want to get you guys inspired and thinking, but speaking of that, I have something for you. Don't leave without the Thought Innovation Checklist 10 questions for creative educational leaders. I have that as a resource for you. You can download it, read it today, come back to it whenever you're having a chance where you may need to renew your thinking, right? And renew your mind and take your thinking to another level on the road to innovation. Guys, thank you again. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon on the road to innovation.